Good evening. So today's topic, we're going to talk about lupus and intimacy.
Yes, we are.
So we give it another 2 minutes so that we wait for a couple of people to join.
And then I'll share it on my social platform.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so we are live on Zoom, and we are also on Facebook.
Yes, ma'am.
So we can have more crowd.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like talking about this topic, but we thought that would be best to just go through it a little bit.
Yes, that is.
Thank you so much, Eunice, for joining us. Hello from Kenya.
Hello. Let's give it a few more minutes and see where else comes.
So the Zoom is being recorded, and again, you're live, so we're going to share it on live. Share it with your friends as well. If you cannot join in Zoom, if you're joining it live, whichever one, just join, please. And then we can give it another 1 minute. It's 11:05 Central Time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ashley, I think you should join too, so that you can check questions for us. So we can go through the questions for the Facebook Live. All right.
Yes, ma'am. So we are talking about lupus and intimacy. I think a lot of people don't. That is, I think, a hush kind of a topic, mostly because of the debilitating effects of an autoimmune disease. So people usually don't wanna really talk about it or even address it. So we decided we needed to talk about having lupus. What about intimacy? I am not married, you're married.
Right. So let's start from the top for the people who don't know. What is lupus?
It's an autoimmune disease where your body kind of fights itself. It depends with what kind of lupus you have. There are very many types. There are not very many types, but there are a few types. There's discoid for the one that affects the skin. There is SLE that affect the systematic lupus that affect the whole system, in the inside. There's the nephritis that targets the kidneys. There's the
cutaneous lupus. No, that's the one for the skin. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's the neonatal. The neonatal is for the kids. And then there's the drug-induced. The drug-induced is actually reversible. When you stop taking the medication that is actually triggering lupus, it goes away.
Right.
The neonatal is the one that affects the kids from an infant age.
That's the new one, because for the neonatal, while I was reading the sources, it says it occurs when an infant acquires antibodies from its mother with SLE, that is the systemic lupus, right?
Yeah.
And while the skin, liver, blood problems resolve within 6 months, so it can be resolved within 6 months, the most serious problem is congenital heart blocks, which requires a pacemaker for the kid.
Yes.
All right, so a few symptoms of lupus, just a few symptoms of lupus.
Oh, Jesus. Now today I'm so flared up, swelling, joint pain, hair loss, rash, and the reason we have the butterfly as the representation of lupus is because of the butterfly rash. Then some, kidney failure, swelling, which is what I have right now, a lot of swelling, a lot of pain. Just as a sidebar, once you have one autoimmune disease, there's a possibility of you having more autoimmune diseases.
Right. And let's talk about the cure. Is there a cure for lupus?
There's no cure, but you can take medication to slow down the progression of lupus. So that is why we usually tell people, we have a support group, just a cipher. We have 100 on Telegram, 101, 111 in Telegram,
right.
And we have
257.
257. Our Facebook group is full. So
WhatsApp
group is full. Yeah, sorry, I just woke up. So what I usually tell the support group people that we have is that when you start feeling like you're feeling better, do not stop taking your medication, because when you stop taking your medication, then the inflammation starts, and kidney failure is a very slow it's a very hidden, like
slow killer.
Slow killer. We have lost a lot of lupus warriors to kidney failure, and it's just because some of them stopped taking their medication and they did not go and they did not do the labs and stuff like that. So don't stop taking the medication. That is what I usually say.
Right. So the reason why we're going through this is just so that you can understand what lupus is. Once we jump into the intimacy, you understand why this is a difficult topic. So we have what causes lupus.
Nobody knows. Their research is going on to find out what causes it. No one definite cause has been identified. They say it's probably a combination of genes, whatever. But to me, I'm the only person. My great-grandmother passed on at 102 years old. Nobody in my family has lupus, or nobody has ever tested positive for an autoimmune disease. So with such a huge, like even the symptoms that my great-grandmother had was just the arthritis of the knees.
Right.
And it's not because of old age.
Yes.
But she died from old age. So and nobody else in my family that I know has lupus. So I don't really believe it's genes. I believe that stress plays it up.
Right.
Like when you're stressed out, whether it's work related or whatever else going on, that plays it up. Mine is played a lot due to stress. So yeah.
I'll read you a source from Lupus Research Alliance. It said that the cause of lupus remains unknown, but there's solid evidence that genetics, what Anne just said to us, genetics, changes of chromosomes that affect gene activity, environmental factors, viruses, and infections may play an important role for somebody to have lupus. Again, resources from Lupus Research Alliance. Further studies of these variables is expected to improve our understanding of course, which should lead to improvement diagnosis, prognosis, prevention, and treatment. So this is why we keep spreading this awareness so that people can understand exactly what it is that we are going through. Not only us, but it's, like we say, there are over 400 in our SCLAD organization that we support each other. So thank you guys for joining. I see more people are joining. Thank you so much. Now let's talk about intimacy. I think we have a little understanding of what lupus in general is. And when we talk about lupus, it also includes the other autoimmune diseases, which we're not mentioning, but they're all related.
As I said before, once you have one autoimmune disease, you have a possibility of getting another one because that is how autoimmune disease works. I have lupus scleroderma, as you can see, lupus scleroderma, lupus and other autoimmune diseases. You have lupus and arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis. Arthritis by osteoarthritis by itself is not an autoimmune disease.
Okay.
Rheumatoid arthritis, though, and psoriatic arthritis, those are autoimmune diseases. So that's the difference. Like the arthritis due to degenerative of your whatever joints, that is not an autoimmune disease. But when you add the rheumatic factor, rheumatoid arthritis, that becomes an autoimmune disease.
Thank you. So tea time with Anne and Carol. Shyness.
Yes, shyness. Yes.
What's intimacy?
That one you have to answer. Not married.
It doesn't have to be for married people, but let me tell you what Google says. Google says intimacy is close familiarity or friendship, closeness, togetherness, rapport, attachment. So it doesn't mean you have to be married. So a private, cozy atmosphere. That's another explanation of what intimacy. Lastly, they say it's an intimate act, especially sexual intercourse. And I guess many people want to hear us talking about that. We'll come into that. So let's talk about lupus and intimacy. I say, again, from the same source, studies suggest that people with lupus often abstain from sexual activities and avoid intimate relationships for a variety of reasons. It includes side effects of medication, mood changes, and physical challenges. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Me, I'm good. I don't know why other people may say that they have been. I can see why there's a limiting. Let me stop being a good.
Yes.
I can see why there's a limiting, of being intimate. Because, like right now, if I would have been married, right, and I wake up not even able to walk.
Yes.
If somebody comes and nudges me and tells me, hey, I'm ready, what do? I'll say, hell no. I'm not even walking.
Yes.
How do you expect? I think what people need to realize is that it's doable, but you have to be very patient with each other.
Of course.
But you have to find the right person who understands.
Yes.
Who understands your limitations sometimes, but it's not every time. I mean, there are positions that can help with that, though.
There we go.
I mean, you don't have I think there are positions that can help with the better satisfaction of that. So you don't have to be you're not doing acrobatics and climbing on the wall all the time. You have to have somebody or a partner that understands that sometimes you can do the acrobatics, sometimes you may not be able to do that.
Right, again, we say they include side effects of medication, mood changes, physical challenges. So all this can affect sexual function, desire, behavior for both men and women. So lupus affects the men and affects the woman, but for the one person that is affected, it can both affect the other one that doesn't have lupus, because they think you're in pain. They're afraid of approaching you as well. So it's for both parties. Yes. They may be afraid of approaching you because they're afraid that you may be in so much pain that they don't want to bother you with it. So that comes into communication, but it will come to communication in a bit. Let's talk about physical challenges. What are some of the physical challenges? I'll read a little bit that I wrote down here. In some women, physical effects of the disease may include limited range of motion, what you just talked about, in the hips, or knees, or decreased vaginal lubrication. And we've talked about it in one of the times, because some people have reduced vaginal lubrication, right?
Yes, because now, let's talk about, thank you, Ashley. Let's talk about somebody with scleroderma, like me. A scleroderma is the overproduction of collagen tissue. So it causes scar tissue over there. So that could lead, but now that could lead to less lubrication or dryness or whatever. Some medications that we take do that too. Or if somebody has something like an autoimmune disease that is called Sjogren usually just dries your, your saliva glands, your eyes and whatever. So that can cause the dryness. But there are products that are made for that purpose.
That's what I was going to ask you. So what do they do if they have the dryness? What can they use?
I usually say use the water-based lubricants, so that because they don't have a lot of chemicals in them, and then see what works for you.
Yes. Because
not everything can work for you. Why am I answering? You're the one who is married.
But we're not talking about, we're generally talking about what, the physical challenges. So about the lubricants, yes, water-based lubricants is great. And then I think I've seen certain people, I think there was another conversation I had, people talking about spitting. So some people spit. Spit has a lot of bacteria, has a lot of germs.
We cannot do that. We cannot do that because first and foremost, most of the people with autoimmune diseases have they are already immunocompromised because of the medications that we are taking. So imagine if somebody has some little bacteria in the mouth, which is normal throughout the day. Somebody has not been brushing their teeth before all that happens.
You brush in the morning, eating the whole day.
Exactly, and you have done a lot with your mouth throughout the day. So
you mean eating and talking?
Yes. So I am not a fan of spitting just because of how immunocompromised we are, and because of the medications. Some people are they tend to get frequent urinary tract infections, or not even the urinary tract infection. You don't want somebody to start getting vaginal whatever, bacteria.
Right, and this is not just for the autoimmune warriors. It's for everyone, really. It's not just for us. It's everyone. The spitting has a lot of bacteria that causes a lot of.
Unless you just brushed your teeth and
still.
For me, and yeast infections. I'm not a very big fan of
Yes,
no, don't
It's
do that.
It's supposed
Don't
to be
do
called
that.
disgusting. In African culture, if you spit, you're disgusted about something. So why would you be spitting
In
on
something
me?
that you're having
No.
pleasure in.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about men. That was women. I'll recap about the women. Most women physical effects of the disease may include limited range of motion of the hips or knees and decreased vaginal lubrication.
Yes.
For men are reported to have higher rates of impotence.
Yes, and I have seen that, and I have seen like some, like the way we have like people getting into my inbox, and that is like a decreased libido and decreased erectile dysfunction. There are medication again which can help with that, and
talk to your doctor about it.
But like the medications like for impotence are not like going to be available. Don't go taking the goat. I don't even know what it's called. Like it's advertised like the big goat or whatever, green goat or whatever. I know I have seen it being advertised. Don't take any herb or whatever to help. But I know that maca root can help. But if you have an autoimmune disease, I say don't take any herbal supplements without talking to your doctor or any supplementation. Actually, that is what Dr. Eugene said last week.
Yes.
That we need to talk to our doctors before we do any supplementation and any herb or anything. So there's Viagra. Viagra is readily available, and it's not as shameful as it was before. I take Viagra.
Yes, not for that purpose, guys. Go ahead and explain so that they understand.
So I have like when it gets really cold, my hands turn purple. That is called Raynaud's phenomenon. So that is the decreased circulation on the toes, on my toes and my fingers. Some people don't even talk about the toes, but my toes are affected, and my fingers when it's really cold. So I'm given Viagra, just the same effect that it has on a man. It has the same effect on my circulation. So it helps with circulation with my fingers and my toes, but it doesn't make me feel any different.
Okay. So for the men and the impotence, please seek medical advice. Discuss it with your partner.
Yeah.
Another physical challenge we have chronic
pain. But that is not the only way that you can satisfy a woman, though.
Right. She's talking.
Yeah, I think you can explore more ways on how to whatever, so that you can still keep that fire going until you're able to talk to them.
You have your fingers, you have dildos, you have toys, you have the physical, emotional pain. There's a lot of things that women like men that you can be able to use or to pleasure your woman or your female partner. So we can talk about that. That's a long topic. It's a long topic. We can discuss it another day. Lastly, about the physical challenges, chronic pain, stiffness, and fatigue, as well as certain medication also decrease sexual desire among people with lupus. That's generally what we've talked about. Now, I'd like you guys to give you about a minute or two to ask us any questions that you may have. You can post it on the text. We have Ashley here. Ashley, the battery is there. So Ashley is here, and then she can be able to go through the questions and ask us. So any questions about lupus, any concerns about the physical challenges, about intimacy, what we've just discussed, and then we can be able to talk further about it. So let's give it about 1 minute while I change the battery. All right. Any questions, Ashley?
Welcome everybody who is here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining this TED Talk. So we were doing these lives because I have the audience on Facebook. We were doing these lives on Thursdays, but today we decided to do these ones today so that we can capture a lot of people, because it's an interesting topic. Because like I come and I see people texting me or asking me, and can we be in a relationship? And if I'm in a relationship with you, are you able to satisfy the needs of a relationship? And my answer is usually yes. I'm disabled, but I'm not disabled. Like my vagina is still there.
Right. And it needs to be taken care of, you know?
My vagina is still there. So I mean, I know most of the people have not seen this side of me. Carol can tell you that I'm a boy. I am like hilarious. most of the people have not seen this part of me, but I just wanted to talk because, like, I don't want anybody to pass out on a good relationship with somebody just because they are afraid that they have lupus or any other autoimmune disease. So, as you were saying, I'll say one more thing. We have if you want to customize. Yeah, if you want to customize your t-shirt, this is a new color.
Yeah.
I have the blue, I have the royal blue, and I have purple on it. And this one has like glitters. No, yeah, it's the same thing. We are customizing them. So if you want any merchandise, this is our what break? Commercial break. Yeah. So if you want any merchandise, all 100% of the proceedings from the t-shirts and the masks and tops, or we have like tube tops. Yes. I need to post that. We can, you can come, you can wear it, so you can come and show them. All that 100% of the proceedings goes to helping people in Kenya with lupus to get their medication and medical attention. So if you want some, we got it. We can just give us
ship it anywhere.
We can ship it anywhere, and we have it available in Kenya too.
In Kenya, yes.
And this is also available in hoodies. Right. If you want like leggings, we can make it for you. Yes. Just tell us what you want. Anyway, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Commercial break over. So we were talking about lupus and intimacy for the people who just joined us. Thank you very much again. We've talked about the physical effects or physical challenges of lupus and intimacy.
Yes.
So we're going to go about something else. Another topic is psychological and emotional effects, because it's not just the physical. I may be physically able to move and twist and shake my hips, but psychologically I may not be. So I can read something here. Research has found that the biggest cause of sex dysfunction is not physical but emotional. So the biggest is not physical, is emotional. One of the studies of 120 women with lupus reported that depression and psychological factors were the main reason for a decrease in sexual function, including desire. Among these women, no other clinical factors related to lupus were shown to be significant with respect to decreased sexual functionality. Okay, so some of the physical factors may include lack of desire or interest, negative body image, low self-esteem, depression and anxiety, how a person feels about their illness. Now let's talk a little bit about that.
You're always looking at me, so I'm going to talk. Psychological. Do you know when you go to see your rheumatologist? I don't know whether that happens. The questions they ask you is whether you're having depression.
Oh yes.
And the other question they ask you whether you have been having trouble with sexual.
Yes, they always ask sexual active. Yeah.
And I always wondered why are you interested in knowing my sexual life? And I came to realize is that because they want you to answer, so that if there's any problem, they can also address that with you, because they're being paid to do that. Right. And they also want to know whether the medication that they are giving you is affecting.
Right.
And because we are so embarrassed to talk about it, like I can tell you from experience, I used to have like a very low self-esteem, mostly when I started having scar tissue from, I'm really swollen, from scleroderma. And I used to feel like I was undesirable because of those scars.
Yes, I concur, because when I couldn't move and joint pains and everything, I was feeling as if, my God, I can't even come close to my husband, because even if I try to lift up my hand, leave alone my legs, my hand is so painful. So I was like trying to just keep away.
So I would say do you, I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to ask you this.
Would you like me to answer?
No,
let's go.
That is Ashley, I'm telling you to shut up. Because
I would ask you, because I know what you're about to ask.
So what positions are you comfortable doing with your husband when it comes to intimacy and sex? And I'm asking you that because sometimes you get up and I hear your bones do. So what positions do you literally do? What are the best positions that you can do that are not causing a lot of whatever?
My husband forgive me for talking about us, but it depends. To be honest with you, it depends. And I'll read for you a little bit what I wrote. I think some of the things I was writing down is because of what I've experienced and what I've heard. So really, it depends. Sometimes I may wake up and my legs cannot move. So you could be just be laying on the one side. You could be laying, what is it called? The states. What is it called? The other style that people just lay there.
Missionary.
See, I don't know the names. These children know the names. But yeah, so it depends really, to answer your question in why, it depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I don't have pains at all and we can swing on the monkey tree, you know, but it really depends. And the most important thing here I can say to you guys, you have to communicate with your partner. You do not just assume that they know. You have to communicate. We have very good communication when it comes to intimacy. So we have to satisfy each other. It's not all about you. It's not all about you. You're still together. Whether you're married, whether you have a boyfriend, whether you have a come stay, it doesn't matter. You're intimate with someone. You still have to communicate and you have to express yourself, how you're feeling today. When you're good, you know, climb a tree. You know, when you're not, you inform them. It could be, like we just talked about, it doesn't have to be about the intercourse itself. It could be other ways you can satisfy each other.
Intimacy, like in itself, like to feel like you're intimate with somebody, like you can have that connection without like having to have sex every day.
Exactly.
So for me, that is what I yearn for, is just like to have that level of connection with somebody that does not have to have like sex is involved, but it doesn't have to be 4 times a day.
Intercourse. It doesn't have to be the real intercourse. So that's why I say here, while there are physical and psychological barriers to intimacy when living with lupus, open communication is one way to address these challenges with your partner. And that's what I just said. So you communicate with them, let them know how you feel, let them know how you're feeling, your body, your psychological
provider.
Oh yes, they need to know, so that is there anything that they can give you to help boost their oomph. They can be able to assist.
Yeah, I hear like I hear the market works. Ask your doctor.
All right, the nurse has spoken.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about communicating with your partner and your health provider.
See, it has to come with that.
So both health providers and people affected by lupus often experience discomfort around discussing sex and intimacy for a variety of reasons, including fear, shame, cultural values. As Africans, you see,
we are so bonded by the cultural values that we don't want to try now. We are just there missionary every time.
What? No,
you kind of have to spice things up. You kind of have to spend to whatever things, spice things up once in a while. You don't have to just. And I'm not saying that break your bones. But sometimes, just break your bones sometimes and just shake your body and then recoup the following 2 days.
And then you can ouch later.
Yeah, you can recoup everybody has to make sacrifices sometimes.
Actually, we are saying that either whether you have an autoimmune disease or not, this is communication for everyone. It's not just the people with autoimmune disease. So as I was reading my sentence, they said, so cultural values and assumption about it not being important. So communication is very important. Don't assume because it's your life, you live in it. So you need to know how important it is to you. What values do you want? What do you want? What is it you want? Yes. Again, whether you have autoimmune disease or not, you're in a relationship, you've been intimate with somebody, communicate. Yes. I'll stop there for a second to see if anyone has a question. Ashley, any questions?
Anybody from the Zoom, if you have any questions, just let us know. Anybody from my Facebook Live, if you have any questions, just let us know. We have somebody who is reading them out for us and we can be able to answer them. So all I'm saying, I see a comment there, Ashley, read it out for me, please.
Any comments here?
Okay, it says, Anne, you are a bad gal. My eyes are all open.
I'm just talking. These are things that actually happens behind closed doors,
right?
And nobody is actually talking about them.
Right.
I am not married right now, so I'm just talking from prior experience. And I have a 17-year-old to prove that I'm not a virgin. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But we are talking about these things so that people
shaking the monkey tail.
I was there, done that, so I know. So anyway,
so back to communicating with your partner and health provider. However, it is appropriate to have an open conversation about sexual function with your healthcare provider. The physical and emotional health status of people with lupus can be improved through collaborating with their healthcare team and support from social services and your partners.
Yes.
Okay. This can help open the dose to improve intimacy and sexual relationship. I think we've extensively talked about that. So any questions, anyone?
No, I don't see any.
Any comments?
I see, I can read it, but I'll read it.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
read the
so-
comments later. So important steps to take. So this we're just now summarizing because we don't have any other questions. So we're just going to go over and summarize what we've talked about. So I'll read it out and then if we can discuss it in brief. So optimize control of disease activity with your rheumatologist.
Yes.
So if you're seeing a rheumatologist, like we were talking the other day on the group chat, we have several doctors that we see.
Yes, I think I counted mine to 13.
No.
I counted my doctors to 13. That does not mean like that, you know, it just like lupus is in itself, the disease itself is managed by a rheumatologist. The disease itself is managed by a rheumatologist, but all the other system, because like the disease affects different symptoms, different systems and organs, you don't want to just like not take care of those.
Right.
So like when I have stomach issues, I see my GI doctor. So like when I am having migraines, I actually have 2 of those. There's the ophthalmologist and there's the neurologist. And the reason there's 2 is because one is dealing with the pulmonary, not pulmonary, like papillary edema or something like that, like the swelling of the eye now. And the other one is dealing with like the neurology itself, why am I getting these migraines and blah, blah, blah. So yeah.
So I see Chebet saying that I'm loving the topic, so open and deep. Thank you so much, Chebet. Thank you everyone for joining. So again, just to summarize on the first part is talk to your doctor, whoever you're seeing. Could be a primary doctor, could be a rheumatologist, could be a nephrologist. Any doctor that you're seeing, please communicate with them. Let them know how you feel. When they ask you if you are sexually active, answer truthfully. Say yes, once a month, once a year, you know, go ahead and talk about it. Okay, we show them much. Okay. So the next thing is pursue and maintain medication that will control diseases and may lead to reduced pain and fatigue. So if you know you're going to get down tonight.
So take some ibuprofen.
You know?
Take some ibuprofen.
Take some ibuprofen and get
ready. Get ready, man.
Don't just sit there and know you're going to be in pain and you need to get down tonight.
And then you just frustrate your husband,
yes.
Or your boyfriend and say, oh man, I'm having a headache. When is this headache going to be treated?
Finally, you know, we keep
on giving excuses of I have a headache. What are you going to do about
headache? Is here, headache is not down here.
What are you going to take care of that headache? I mean, every person, everyone, you don't want something, you just say, oh gosh, today I'm having a headache.
What the hell is headache?
Okay, so when are you going to ever get
but you know what, saying that, when I'm not feeling well and I get to get intimate, let me use the proper words, we're live, it releases some hormone. I think you're the nurse, tell us. There's some hormone that is the body releases when you get there.
It's oxytocin, yeah. Yes, oxytocin, and the adrenaline
in it.
Yes.
My God, the pain goes away at that moment, people. The pain goes away.
Yes.
Yes. So try it. Don't.
And they said that the doctors keeps on telling us to do a lot of exercises, and I think that is one way.
Part of the exercise.
Yes.
Yes. So please don't deprive yourself of the pleasure just because you're having that joint pain. Prepare yourself. Take medication that will prepare your body. By the way, I'm having some juicing. I juice some fresh vegetables and fruit, and my darling here is having some hot chocolate.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, as we speak. So
because I've been too lazy to choose this week.
Okay, so let's deal with main triggers such as pain and fatigue. We just talked about it. We get tired, we get fatigued a lot. It's one of the symptoms.
Let me address one more thing that the question we get a lot. It's okay. So like the question I usually get again is like, can we get pregnant? Like, I think the fear of getting pregnant also makes people make women not enjoy the act just because they are afraid that if they have lupus or an autoimmune disease, they can get pregnant. Explain, you have been there, done that.
Yes. So I got diagnosed with lupus 2017. we were still sexually active, even though sometimes I couldn't lift my leg up. But then 2018, end of 2018, I got pregnant. So 2019, I had my baby 2019 March. I know doctor talked about it last time with the intimacy talk. If some of the SCLAD people joined the group, the Zoom talk, and he talked about having hormonal contraceptions. It's not advisable to have hormonal contraceptions. Anything that you're going to put in your body, we always say, talk to your doctor. I personally have a hormonal contraception now, but it doesn't affect me in anything negative. In regards to getting pregnant, at that time, I wasn't using any contraception, and voila, I got pregnant. It was unplanned. It was an unplanned pregnancy. It happened. I carried my pregnancy through 9 months with close attention from my doctors. Every week, every 2 weeks, they're seeing me, scanning me, and everything. Everything was smooth. Here is the cherry on top. I went in remission for 9 months. Again, it affects people differently. I'm speaking about myself. I'm not telling you that if you have lupus and it's bad, if you get pregnant, you go in remission. I don't know. The doctor told me that the body was trying to protect the fetus. That's why the body went in remission. Again, I keep saying this. Why can't they make hormonal medication to lie to the body that we are pregnant then? But those are their results.
I think yeah, so most of the people I have had, like who have lupus and got pregnant, you know, like the majority of them like go on remission, or they have less pain. So it's something that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Yes.
For those pain-free 9 months. So
yes,
go ahead.
Right, but then some people as well have heard that they in our group even, they've talked about being pregnant and they've lost pregnancies. I'm sorry for that. We're really deeply sorry about that. So when I talk about myself, I just want to share to give positivity for the people who really looking forward to getting pregnant. The ones that have lost are also there. So that's why we have to keep close to our doctors. Yes. We keep saying that in every conversation. And
follow what they're telling you.
Yes, listen.
Because sometimes we go to see them, but we have our own.
Yeah.
We
are our own doctors.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then certain medication they will stop you from taking because it will affect the fetus. And hence probably that's why sometimes you may have that miscarriage. But let's not talk about the negative. We're talking about lupus and intimacy.
Yes.
So as planned sexual activities when pain is mildest. For example, towards the evening, if the pain is less prevalent at that time. So if your pain is less in the evening, and
most time it tends to be like that.
In the morning is worse.
Yeah, I couldn't even walk this morning. But but later in the evening, it's like your body has already gotten used to walking and your muscles have relaxed a little bit. Maximize on that.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, they say normally don't plan sex. Don't plan it because it's not going to be.
But you can set up the table from morning to evening.
Yeah.
I'm not married, but I know these things.
These are just different ideas. Again, you can take meds to relax you.
Yeah, set the table like you know, text.
Be romantic about it
all day long.
So you prepare yourself.
You're preparing yourself and you're preparing your partner.
Yeah. Right. So take pain meds. We've already talked about that, take pain meds 1.5 hours prior to your sexual activity upon your physician approval.
Yes.
Don't just go start taking meds.
Yeah.
If you're already, like for me, I'm already on ibuprofen because of the joint pains. Yeah, I pop a couple before and the pain is relieved. And
don't take don't take hydrocodone, it will knock you out.
No, actually, I do have acetaminophen with codeine, which is Tylenol 3 here. Yeah. So I do have that. I don't take that because it makes me woozy. So I'll be sleeping.
Yeah. If like for me, if I was active right now, I wouldn't take a knock or a Benadryl to help me because I know it will knock you out. It will knock me out, and you're gonna be there talking to yourself all night,
trying to lift up a dead leg.
No, you're not. I couldn't even feel that anyway.
So we have open communication with your partner is essential when it comes to nurturing the satisfying sex life.
Yes.
We just talked highly about that. So communicate.
And missionary is still a position when everything else fails.
Or you can just turn around too. You can sleep on your stomach. What is that called?
I don't know.
That one.
You can ask the teenagers. Those ones are
they know the names.
But they are very there are very many. Like I remember
lying on the side, lying on your stomach.
I used to like that.
Yeah, lying on the side, right?
lying on the side. You're
Wow.
I know.
And then you spoon until morning.
And then that is that. And then you can do the small spoon until morning time, and life is good. So you don't have to like. I wonder why people like to do acrobatics. For just
I
15
think they
minutes.
watch too much movies. They watch too much movies, and then they want to do a performance for their partners.
And then you don't work the following morning.
Oh yes.
Well, I'll be.
So you want to say something? You haven't tried to do an acrobatic?
I did right now.
No, I said you haven't. I didn't say right now.
I did.
Okay. So why did you do it?
No, for me, I actually.
Please.
I did, but you know, I am a kind of a submissive kind of a. I'm submissive, so the acrobatics are right. They come from, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be submissive. I kind of enjoy not. I can get in control sometimes, but like I also want them to experience what they desire. I mean, I'm trying to be vulnerable with them.
Yes,
so
exactly. So guys, explore. Okay. They say optimize control of disease activity with your rheumatologist. I think I've repeated that.
Yeah.
Pursue and maintain medication that will control diseases. I think I might do. Okay. Deal with main triggers such as pain and fatigue. Okay.
Yeah.
I think say that as well in depth. Plan sexual activities when pain. I think I'm repeating myself. You are. I'm repeating myself. Then that's it. Then that's it.
So question.
That's
how many minutes do we have here?
I don't know. It will just go off. We had 40 minutes on Zoom,
so like what we were trying to say is like you know, do what pleases you. Don't hold yourself back. Talk to your doctor if you have like a condition that is limiting you from having sex and enjoying sex. Ride if you can. Do acrobats if you can. But know that take care of you even when you're enjoying these things. Don't don't also like the hygiene of both partners is very important because like with lupus you're very immunocompromised, so you don't want to have a yeast infection two days after or 3 days after, then that limits the sexual activity for another 1-2 weeks until anyway, just be careful with whatever you're doing.
When you talk about hygiene again, that applies to everyone, not only the people with with autoimmune
and
disease.
if you're dealing with somebody who has an autoimmune disease, just make sure that you're careful on how your hygiene around them and stuff like that, because it's we usually say your germs could kill me, and it's literally is exactly that. So because we are very immunocompromised, but it's a pleasure talking about these things and exploring this topic, because I think it's something that we have like it's a hash topic, like it's a hash topic, and we can show practicals, but we can do theory.
Yep. So I'll move closer to see any questions or any comments that are here, because Ashley has vacated. So let's see here if there's any questions. Oops. Okay, they said awesome show. Thank you. There's lots of people watching. Thank you guys for joining, and share it in your group. So
I was told I was a bad girl.
Oh, you're a bad
Jerry, Gary Wainaina, get well soon, my dear. Yes.
All right, so there's no questions. Thank you guys.
I think they just tuned in. It's very interesting. Like it's an interesting topic. So brought to you by SCLAD Awareness.
Yep.
That is a non-profit to spread awareness on lupus and other autoimmune disease. SCLAD means, I don't think a lot of people have known what it does mean. Scleroderma, lupus, and other autoimmune disease. It's a registered non-profit. When we do sell the merchandise, all the proceedings go to helping people with lupus or fighting lupus in Kenya who cannot afford their medication or their consultation fees. We have more than 315 members right now in our support groups.
Oh, it's more, because it's 256 plus 100. They're almost 400.
Almost 400.
Some waiting to join.
Yes. So our WhatsApp group is full. So go ahead.
Carry on.
Our WhatsApp group is full, but we cannot be able to help people as quickly as we want to. Right now we are moving like three in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We are trying
Three warriors.
as much as we can to help out. We are mourning 3 and some of them were just like very sudden. We are here, but talking about all this, but we are in Greek mode. Yesterday we just lost a warrior. Last week we just lost another one.
True.
And then
The week before,
So
and it's something very small, because it's something like having to go to the rheumatologist to get checked, having to get your blood drawn so that they can keep, because here we get our blood drawn quite often, and then taking a medication. I say this small, but it's not. It's huge, because all this costs money. All this costs money, and most of the people cannot afford to keep up with it.
And in Kenya, like they don't have that pure disability to keep you like from getting fired from a job. When you get sick or falling sick, at the time you're fired. So people are just choosing whether to take their medication or buy food, and that is not a good position to be at.
Exactly, and then COVID didn't help either.
No,
people lost their jobs, and
so when we are helping, I feel so bad when I have to tell a warrior, I'm working 3 cases right now. You're gonna be on the waiting list, because I'm not able to help as quickly as I am. We don't have sponsors. We don't have. Most of the time, we are coming out of our pockets.
We wait for our salaries, and pinch a few,
and then we
send it over.
And then the merchandise. This is what supports us. 100% of it, 100% of the profit goes. This is our new line. Okay, what are you wearing? Sorry.
Sorry. So
this is new. We have not. I don't think anybody has bought this.
No, not yet.
This is like new. Yeah. It has like red and like glitters. Yes. And then we have
this is our latest one.
This is our latest one. So we have like
different colors. I just bought a few so that you guys can see. I think this is the same one.
No, it's not, because it's the
red. And this one is the old one.
This is the old one, but without glitters.
Yeah, without glitter.
So this one a man can wear.
Yeah. Even man can wear glitter.
And this is the sclerodoma ones.
Sclerodoma.
Yeah.
Different sizes. See, this 3 times X.
Yeah, so we don't want to like, but just so you understand,
the glitter one,
just so you understand that the reason we come is for awareness, and awareness helps. And so long as we have awareness going on, we can be able to help out, and we can be able to, that one has 4 layers. So don't feel bad wearing that. Like you're not protected, you're actually protected. It has 4 layers inside. It has 4 layers.
You can even feel it.
And then the butterfly is just to signify like the lupus in itself, because of the butterfly rash. We didn't want to do like something so complicated. It's a mask. Just so long as you know what you're supporting, I think we're good. So any final words?
Yes, intimacy is very important. Communication is very important. Don't feel shy to communicate with your partner. Let's talk about it. Talk about it with your partner. Talk about it with your doctor. Talk about it with your social workers. Have an open communication that will be able to help you in your bedroom, you in your lounge, you in your kitchen counter, you anywhere in the house.
Anachukua, anaweka,
anabomoa.
Wow. So anyway, missionary is still a valid style.
Yes.
If everything else fails.
Yeah.
And spooning is also a valid style. When everything else fails, you just turn on a little bit and you don't have to lift anything, right?
You can move a little.
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, you
don't have to lift anything.
That is what I was trying to say. Yes. You don't have to have poles in the house to enjoy sex, or to enjoy the intimacy.
Right.
And intimacy is not just only sex; it's also have like the emotional connection. It has to be so deep that somebody understands you without actually talking about it.
Exactly. Even touch.
Yes.
Is
these
sweet words.
These 5 love languages. Read about them, know your partner, know their love language, and try to satisfy with that. So
thank you so much. If you don't have any further questions, which I don't see any questions, thank you guys in the Zoom to join. Thank you guys at Facebook joining us.
So if you,
we enjoyed our talk.
We always do. We are goofballs. Let me tell you. So I think we can tell us in the comment section, if you don't mind, if you have watched it this far, or if you're gonna come and watch it later. Tell us when you want us to have these talks. I think Saturday works.
Morning,
like our time. So tell us when you actually come here. Let me see.
There's one more merchandise.
One more merchandise that you have not like.
This for the scenes.
Come here,
Come
Ashley.
here, maybe. Yep, there we go.
And don't part.
Your
Your
back.
back.
Look at the butterfly here. So we have these
It's
tank
simple.
tops. Yeah, very nice thing. And then she also has the shorts. I wish you had put on the shorts.
I actually haven't been able to find
Yeah, so there's biker shorts as well.
And
you
that
can-
has
yeah.
the butterfly. Yes.
It's kind of like sweatpant kind of
Sweatpants, but they're like short,
They're
but they're
short.
tight, short and tight. So
Yeah, but they
cute.
also have the butterfly on them.
Yes.
on the other side.
A very simple butterfly. You won't be all loud shouting Lupus,
Yeah,
but
Lupus.
you know why you're wearing it.
Yes, and you know what you're supporting.
Yes, yes. But if you wanted to have Lupus too,
We can
no
still
Lupus,
now.
we can
We
put
can
it.
still
Yeah?
customize it.
Yeah, yeah. We make the orders as people put in their requests.
Yeah, we customize it. We do like orders on like per order, like per request.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, our lovely model.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
So we were saying goodbye, guys. Thank you for joining us. Please send us comments, send us topics that you want us to discuss in regards to autoimmune disease. Let us know.
Even live topics that you want us to discuss.
Yeah,
We are human beings. We are human beings, man.
Yeah.
We just want to be, yes.
Somebody says they won't mind the biker shot. We can organize that.
We can organize that.
Yes,
Because we
yes.
only bought one last time, so we can see how it
Yeah,
goes out.
yeah. Thank you so much, guys.